So the body says, don't move. So it puts like,
Yeah.
so now he goes like,
It's
oh
stress.
yeah, and he stretches and stretches and stretches, and the body says, no,
Will not
no,
let
don't
you go.
don't you get that? It's painful. And he goes, come on, move and stretch, and the body says, no,
We're not gonna do it.
you don't listen, it's painful.
It's incredible that one point in the body, if we're gonna solve this one, it's gonna solve the other problem. For example,
Many.
one of my clients was treated in Poland for many years. Only they were doing in here, the lower part, adductors. But what I found, the biggest problem is here and here, and they were never touching in that area. Can you imagine? And he was coming, paying, going back, and they were even surprised. It's interesting that you're gonna go to the specialists, like you call them specialists, and
Therefore, they are specialists. They are specialists on that.
on that area.
And if you understand, it makes sense because
It's a little bit release the pain temporary, but only temporary. But then if after 2 days he needs to come back because again he has pain, or after a week, and starting over again.
This is why this guy is the specialist on relieving this pain. And he relieves this pain. So now I can feel here, there's a stop. I can't move it more because otherwise I hurt your knee. So I sterilize your knee, make sure. So like this I can move back and I pull it a little out. You see? I create space in between here. I just lean back, hold you, and I lean back. So I don't exhaust myself.
Hello guys, welcome in today's video. My name is Adam, I'm a medical trainer, and today with me is a special guest, Mr. Magic, Mr. Thomas, the mentor, the best guy in here in Dubai, what I found, where I can learn a lot of things. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Why they call you Magic, and what do you do for life?
Actually, it's not so much magic. It's more if people are not so perverted and so eager to know so much, and they spend their time with different things than just studying the human being, they don't know so many connections. So for some people, if you put on a switch and the light goes on, it's like magic. And for some people, if you press somewhere and something happens, it's magic. But in reality, it's easy to understand. It's logical. At least that's how I see it.
All your life you were traveling, meeting so many famous people, famous athletes, and finding the special area where they were like healing, and were healing them, and they were like suffering with the pain, with the problem, and you were finding those directly points in the body and were trying to help them. Or you actually
I was trying to
them.
be effective.
Because as much as possible. Yeah.
As we humans, in a certain way, we reached a lot of limits in the body if you train the body alone. But once you understand that the mind can support the body in the same direction, the body performs even better. Then with the time we understood, no, there's not only body and mind, there's also emotions. And then we started to connect the emotions to the mind, to the body. And then we understood, no, now we need the overall concept. Why do we do that? Why do we high performance? So a bigger sense of it. And then we have the mind and the feelings and the body and the hormones all in one direction. So this is a whole new world on high performance. So where you can
all body must work as a one unit, as a one piece to be able to perform on a high level.
And if one part doesn't work, then it's interesting to say, where do you go in and you understand the human being, that his private life and his professional life and all of them, from the food to the sleeping, to the thinking, to the working, to the genes, to all of that makes this human so.
Can you tell me what is the most in nowadays? What is the biggest problem with the humans? Like what they say, for example, sitting lifestyle is the killing. Yeah.
No, I think the biggest problems nowadays is the being human.
Being human.
Being human was always a problem. So our idea of how can we do best things and how can we be perfect was always the biggest problem of being human. So it is us not accepting that we are human. We can do better, but there's always going to be something that you can do better, because once you get to a limit, then you open to a next limit, and you open to a next limit, and you open to a next limit. And I think the biggest problem is that we think it needs to end somewhere. They're like, okay, I need to have this body, I need to have this performance, then it's going to end. No, you're going to go there, and then you're going to go, and then you're going to go. And if you understand that this is all life, so you don't need to get there to start your life. No, your life already starts now. The best you can do today. Your training, your performance today is that's it. That's your life. And you reach your goal, that's nice, but there's a day after the competition, there's a day after the championship, there's a day after you reach your 100 kilos of muscle. And if you understand, the life is depending on what you want. I believe that all our plans are valued for something. You only want to have muscles because you want to look good. Great, it's understandable, but you pay a price for it. So you have muscles, you look good, and you attract.
You're gonna be big.
This, yeah, and it's good, and this is what you want, then it's okay.
Long, yeah?
You're gonna have a price for it. Yeah? So maybe your joints, when you get older, gonna suffer. Your liver is going to suffer. Not bad. It's just you reach a certain point, then you need to adapt and say, you know what? All the strength that I had doesn't help me because I can't move properly, or now I have pains because I trained so much my arm that the compensation on my shoulder is too high, so I can't move anymore. So you need to change and say, you know, now maybe I need to stretch, or I need to lose muscles to then be able to move without pain. So I think every plan, every idea has a right to be there and has a price. And if you're aware of that, then it's easier to pay the price. You know what? I want this muscle, I don't care. Or I want the flexibility and I don't care. So I do the yoga thing, the whole time, and I'm amazingly flexible. Exactly.
Will provide instability.
Exactly.
At the same time.
And then I'm gonna have to go back and say, you know, I now want to make some muscles because, or I go surgery because I have a hypermobility.
Yeah, there was a famous yogini which had to go through the years of doing yoga, becomes unstable around the hips, and there was a problem. She had to go to the surgery or the hip replacement even. So then you cannot say that doing yoga is actually super healthy because I mean, it's not bad doing yoga. It's nothing bad. But then, like you say, not taking care of all the other things, only focusing on the one thing to becomes hyper mobile.
It's also to understand, if I do yoga as part of my life, and yoga goes with my diet, goes with my prayer, goes with my daily routines, with the climate, it's a whole package that fits together. But if I do yoga just to be more flexible, I'm missing the whole point of it. It's like I do sports, so my body feels fit. Totally different concept than I do sports because I want to look good. I do sports because I want to feel free, I want to feel fresh and powerful, get support from my body. Different concept than I want to win a MMA championship.
I'm training because I want to increase the performance, not building muscles.
So if I want to run fast,
I need a specific training for it.
Exactly. If I want to be a good fighter, then I have a limit on flexibility. I say, okay, I don't want to have more flexibility because the flexibility is
your power.
Exactly. So
too much stretching as well, especially static stretching before the workout, is making muscles weaker. Like people need to understand. I see people stretching static, on these holds right before they start the workout, the strength training. It just doesn't really make sense. You should be active stretch as a mobilization.
Depends on what they want.
And then go. But for example, for the sprinters, imagine sprinters do the stretch right before the start. It's not. Then it's gonna affect their.
It depends on why they do it.
I mean, as a proper warm up, it should be good. Like as with the movement, but too much over. Stretch is gonna make it worse.
As said, I mean, I studied humans my whole life, so I can't say this is in general it is like this, because there are some humans. National team taekwondo. There was a guy who had to run about an hour just to get warm, to be flexible. So his muscle needed that.
Okay, so
And he
everybody is
needed
also different. Everybody's gonna adapt to the different one.
And
So we cannot
there's
get a one model
a
for
whole
everybody.
complex world on the person, and to understand what do you want. And some people don't care. Say, you know what, I want to look good. I want to look good, no matter what. And others say, you know, I just want to win, and I don't care about the price. Once I became world champion 3 times, I don't mind to retire in a wheelchair. That's something that I have to say. Very, very appreciate what he does. So it's not only thinking, okay, this is one thing, but you start, when I see you, how you work with people, you understand them, you go into them, you take in account what are the mobility, what is the strength, what's the limit they can go to, they feel safe within their movements. So very like that.
Thank you.
And that you see a bigger picture. That you see a bigger picture. It's not only about now get the training right. No, it's like get the training right, but have in mind where you want to go to and the consequences of this training or that training or this session. So that's very nice.
Thank you. Nice to hear that from expert. All right, we're gonna start with some mobilization techniques. So for me, very often, for example, when I'm working with my clients, I'm bringing tension to myself. I'm hurting myself, like trying to avoid. But at the beginning, when I was spending too much time in this position by working on some of my knees, I was feeling sometimes I was leaning to that side, and already I was bringing tension, yes, from here to the hip, and then affecting at the same time my shoulder. Because if I'm working with a gun or pressing on someone, doing massage, I'm leading myself to the not good, comfortable position for myself, and then after the whole day of working like this, you end up as well in pain. And you need to fix your body as well. And I very often, what I notice on myself, that side is more affected, the hip, so left hip, right shoulder, as a muscle technique going this way. Another one, yeah, maybe that's what you can notice as well.
That he looks in here. You see his body here. Feel that? You feel that?
Yeah.
It's painful.
Already, yeah.
You can see. When he stands here.
So that side.
Stands like. You're gonna get it.
Already my pelvis is
like
also
this. You see?
a little bit, yeah.
So you have your belly out like this.
Yeah. That's an anterior pelvic shift, yeah.
So if you so if you try it on purpose, you're gonna have a lot of tension here because there is something wrong. Or wrong. There's a weakness. So that most probably the intestines. Yeah? So if you go in here, so on the surface we have muscles. Then we can feel the intestines. There is already resistance, so you feel intestines. So it's either the intestines, so we're going to check the intestines, or behind the intestines, we go towards the lower column, and then we go, for example, here to the psoas. Right?
That's a very sensitive area, right?
Yeah, so now if you, for example, if you lift your leg,
lifting,
and we press against it, press up, you feel?
Yeah.
And we press in here, it gets weak. So it's psoas, so it's either the psoas because of the large intestines, or the psoas weak. Some call the psoas also the like the pollution and
I was
dirt
always
muscle.
solving, like you saw me doing a lot of mobility work in here on the hip flexor, hip rotators, glutes. But the problem was all the time coming back. And then 2 days ago, I started doing by myself massaging here. I feel completely different. Like all of this gone. Because I already affected the source of this, like you say, this weakness, generating that pressure coming through. And then affecting not only the hip, but also my knee.
See? Yeah. See that? Yeah. When he doesn't think about it, when he talks, he thinks about it, he goes like,
Because I have a.
But he doesn't think about it. And then
if I don't think about it, I lose my six pack.
And you can even feel it. So, well, what happens here again? It makes sense. The body is super clever. So, if this one is to be protected, how you protect it? That you make sure that you don't move it. And how do you not move this part? What do? You need to fix the hip, because if you do this, it's painful. So your body says, I don't want pain, so let's tension this muscles, let's tension this muscles, that you don't do, can you see that? You don't do this.
Yeah.
That you don't do this, because if you do, especially this direction, if you do this, it's going to be painful.
And bring instability for the lumbar spine too.
Exactly.
Because will demand from here to move, and that should be our
Exactly. So the body says, don't move. So it goes like,
yeah.
So now he goes like,
It's
oh
stress.
yeah, and he stretches and stretches and stretches, and the body says, no,
Will not
no,
let
don't
you go.
don't you get that? It's painful, and he goes, come on, move and stretch, and the body says, no,
We're not gonna do it.
you don't listen, it's painful.
Yeah.
Now you stretch and stretch. Huh? So that's what I meant in the beginning. Once we understand what the body tries to achieve, you go and give support to what the body really needs. You do that, the body says, hey, I don't have to hold on. It's just exhausting. It's a lot of energy to hold on and get the stability from here. Give me stability from down, give me stability from the movement, and assure that I don't feel pain if I get flexible.
It's incredible that one point in the body, if we're gonna solve this one, is gonna solve the other problem. For example, one of my clients was treated in Poland for many years. Only they were doing in here, the lower part adductors, all the time doing the healing, yeah, all the time. So they were trying to only attacking that area, but what I found, the biggest problem is here and here, and they were never touching in that area. Can you imagine? And he was coming, paying, going back, and they were even surprised. Why you are coming back? We are doing so much things, you know. You're supposed to be fine, because they heal one person that way, and they were thinking, oh, that's a solution for everybody, yeah. But that was they were the symptom of the pain. So he was feeling pain in here, pressure here, like you say. But the problem was starting from up, yeah. So it's interesting that you're gonna go to the specialists, like you call them specialists, and
therefore they are specialists. They are specialists on that.
On that area.
And if you understand, it makes sense, because maybe it shouldn't be like that, but you're a specialist and you make your money like that. So you're focused on that, and then you do everything right. So
yes, because
and it's written in the book.
Yeah.
It's written in the book. If there's a problem, you do this. So you have a justification, because other people are sure that this is the right way to do. So you do that, you can't be wrong. So you do that, and you pay your bills, and you did your thing right, because your technique was right.
Of course, because
and you're not paid for healing. No, you're paid to work on this
particular area to only the cause, treat the symptom, but not solving the problem. Yeah? But another thing is, of course, after the treatment, it's gonna make a person feeling better, because it's a little bit release the pain temporary, but only temporary. But then if after 2 days he needs to come back because again he has pain, or after a week, and starting over again.
This is why this guy is the specialist on relieving this pain, and he relieves pain.
And this is how they make money too, money makers machine. Maybe in purpose, or maybe I don't know. What do you think? Or both, lack of knowledge and understanding the human body. And
the problems that I faced. I've been teaching doctors, therapists, and coaches for 15, 20 years. The problem is if you show someone an alternative, but this guy already treated thousands of people
in the same way.
He needs to be willing to say, okay, that's better, and I did wrong. So people prefer, or a lot of people prefer to say, you know what? No, this is right, and they're going to fight it. No, this is right. This is how you do it. This is how it's studied, and this is how I had a lot of success. And they spend more time on fighting you than say, you know what?
Let's agree between maybe.
And then let's find a way and find. So.
Because everybody wants to be. I'm a founder of this, and I get the outward at the end.
Yeah, and you don't want to feel guilty because you made 10,000 surgeries, and then somebody comes in. You could have avoided it,
or you can make it better.
And then you imagine 5,000 of these people coming back and say, "You did that, and it was wrong." It's like, you know what? No.
The same thing what you told me about the knee, that they were fixing the athletes, yeah, and they were just doing one side, and actually they were causing the injury and making easier to break the ACL, yeah, to break the ligaments and make the athletes weaker actually because of one side only healing, other side not doing anything, yeah. So treating one side, not focusing on the whole joint.
We're talking about high performance with national teams, Olympic teams, with still nowadays bad physiotherapists, bad doctors, bad trainers. When they're, on the other hand, there are so many amazing doctors, amazing trainers out there.
Yeah.
But here again, that was the other part that I said in the beginning. It's not only body, mind, spirit, emotions, and whatever. No, there's also politics. If you go in professional sports, there is not only who's the best. No, there is also politics. Who's the manager? Who's the owner of the team? Who's involved? Who is the association? And so there is so much more to professional sports than only performance, more body, and the sportsman. There's also, how do I get along with my trainer? How do I get along with the manager? We have a great team, but the doctor is an asshole, or the new manager is an asshole, so we fight. And so there is so much more to it than just let's go out and play or go out and fight. Mm-hmm. And you do that. A lot of your weight is already in front. So you're going to have to hold back here. Mm-hmm. So no matter what position, how balanced you are. Mm-hmm. This, for a long time, is good for yogi, it's good for extreme meditation. But if you work,
just some positions,
the moment you start to, I, for example, personally, lay down and show. I personally like.
I recently found this one.
Lay down and show you. For example, I don't do too much touching, but when I do, I like not to stay too long in a position, because I believe if I need to work, for example, on your belly for so long, I'm doing it wrong, because your brain wants me to succeed, to relieve your pain. Your brain wants me to help you, so we're going to work together. So what I do is I try to listen. What does your body want and need? So your body tells me, so to say, tells me what it needs. So if I do that, and if it doesn't respond, I didn't listen the right way. I didn't hear the right language. I don't speak the right language. I don't understand the right language. Because if I understand the right language, like, you feel that? If I do that, your body reacts. So I don't need to stay there forever. I do that. And that's done. So now I can move on. If this doesn't work and doesn't respond directly, I need to go somewhere else and say, wait, something else. It doesn't come from here. Because there's something else that doesn't allow me to go deeper. If I go deeper here, for example, it's going to be painful. You feel that? Yeah. Pain, super pain. So if I don't want to cause too much pain, because your body says, I protect that, so you don't touch because it's painful. Okay, let's go and go down. So I'm already moving, see? So I don't stay in the same position. Mm-hmm. And then I try to relieve pain in the position. Mm-hmm. So now I let my body work for me. And I keep on moving. So I move. You see the outer rotation? Doesn't go from here. You see here? If I go further, I would hurt your knee, because this one doesn't move.
Yeah. I feel as well in here already. Yeah.
Exactly.
Rotation already.
This is already. So, if I do this, that's already doing something. So now I can feel here. There's a stop. I can't move it more because otherwise I hurt your knee. So I stabilize your knee. Make sure. So like this, I can move back, and I pull it a little out. You see? I create space in between here. I just lean back, hold you, and I lean back. So I don't exhaust myself.
So nice already losing for the knee, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, this is a side effect, yeah? So I push down here, you see? I push down here, I push down here, here.
If the muscles that are
Exactly,
tight,
that I
it helps to release them.
don't press too much on the blood flow. Therefore,
Yeah,
I
feel
curve.
like a nice feeling all the way from the knee all the way down to the foot.
If I would put in here, it presses here. It's nice and round. That fits the size of your knee, of your calf. Then I press here, hold your knee, that is stable on this side. I press down this part, and then I lean back. So now I can feel here. I can control here with my hand what happens in your knee. I can feel when you let go. And now we can move in here.
Increasing hip rotation.
Exactly. So now I can feel this one is where it holds. So I can put in my arms and then pull down. So I give support to the movement. And I move my whole body. If I would move here, I would tense my back. So I'm going to have pain. If I do it, continue like that for long, I'm going to have pain.
This is what happened to me. I was actually fixing people, but I was making my body worse.
Exactly.
Because I was everywhere because I was not really focusing how I'm positioning. Yeah?
But that's it. We are all such smart asses, and we are so clever that we are so good explaining the others. But it's like the guy with a broken that sews clothes and has tear jeans involuntarily. So for me, it is always, if somebody says he knows, look at his body and see if you can see. Does the chef, does the cook eat his own food? Does he take his own medicine? Doing that, for example, if I tension my body, I feel tense. If I realize I need a little more, I can lean on here. Go down, and I can lean on it. So you're going to give me support. Exactly. And then I can concentrate on what I really want to do. If I don't, if I'm here and my knee starts to hurt, it's like, I get tense.
Yeah, if you keep feeling pain during the fixing, you are not going to be able to work.
Exactly.
So you're not going to be able to connect with your brain and everything to the body.
We come back to what I said about the horse, remember? When me as a rider is tense, my horse is going to feel the tension. The same here. If I get tense, you feel my tension. And it's uncomfortable because you feel like, oh, you don't want that I feel tense and that I feel bad or I feel painful. Even if I don't show it, or I try not to show it, you can feel it. It's like he's not comfortable. So you can't relax. So if I want you to relax or to feel healed, I can't put the weight on you and say, yeah, you are guilty that I feel pain now. So you go, hey, leave it. Okay, you can feel that? Totally different quality.
No more pain.
Exactly.
During rotation.
So then we go here. And then if it's too painful for me, or I'm bored, I'll leave it. I say, okay, then let's see. Because your body also needs space to adapt and see, no. And then observe the difference. Just lying and observing.
Okay, yeah.
See which leg is longer, which hip is lower.
I feel like this leg is way longer, is like water running through it. Like a nice feeling. Like really, like I feel this one is short, this one is now longer. And like I don't feel any pressure here. And here I feel like it's still kind of like it was, so tight and restricting the movement. And here I feel like even the blood flow, coming, running. All the way to the bottom of my foot.
And the thing is, what I realize in a lot of people is they do too much.
Oh yeah.
So
when you
if I, for example, if I now go
So you need your body.
What
like
I
you
did
told
here,
me, yeah.
we have here, here, here. So we worked on that. This is going to affect the whole body. So you get up, your body has to adjust. Everything needs to adjust. So if I do something here now, the body's going to adapt. But then I do something here now, and then I do something here, and then I do something here. You will say, whoa, 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 whoa. What am I supposed to do now? Huh? So I try to go back to the old, because it's, I don't know, do I adapt to this or to that or to that? You got to be really good to be clear. Okay, if I do this and do this and do this, this goes together and this fits together. This is already doing a lot. So if I do too much, and if I do something else and something else, something else, without giving you space to feel it, to realize it, then your brain is like, oh, it's too much. Like this, now you go like, okay, this actually feels nice. If your brain accepts that this is nice, that this feels good, your brain is going to help me to do the other side. So this one is going to be so much faster than this one. Why? Because your brain says, oh, you know what, Thomas, that's a good idea. Let's do that too. Yeah? So your body's already starting to do that. So I just need to help him in case he doesn't get some of the movement, and I can make it faster.
So applying too much mobilization on one part is gonna make it worse. Eh? It's gonna make it more tight, even,
Yes.
because body is gonna send a brain signal is gonna say to the muscle, let's protect. It's too much. Eh?
Because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get up. I don't know how to move my body. I don't recognize these movements. So if I should work now, or if I should do something, then what do I do now? So for example, you have someone after training or before training or while training, and you do something. They go to work, then they need to function at work. Or they go into the game and you change something. They have the technique. They know, okay, this muscle tension has to be like this, so that I hit the ball the right way, or that I reach my arm. So now you change something. Wait, now I need to adapt. I need time. I need time to digest. I need time to adjust my technique to the new tension. If I don't do that, I'm going to fight against a new way of using my muscle. My own brain is going to fight against it.
That's interesting. I told them before that more mobilization does better.
No mobilization, not necessary, does better.
But your
Because there's
body
a
should
reason.
always tell you, eh?
What?
Like when your body should always tell you when it's enough or not. What do you think? If I'm doing by myself, I massage with the ball, for example, I should know how much I should apply into this gonna like border between the good pain and bad pain. Yeah? Like
You should, but
release and
we're humans.
yeah.
You need to try.
More practice, it makes it. Yeah.
There is an explanation for every situation, because sometimes it's also interesting to go over a limit and say, okay, this is now, I go over it. So I'm going to hold the tension. I'm going to hold the pain. Yeah? It also works. For example, in fighting with the Koreans, Taekwondo, we were in a training camp, and after the training, the first day, we went to bed, and we had this bed, I don't know how it called, the double bed, yeah? So I climbed up, and in the morning, I woke up. I had no clue how to get out of bed. My whole body was so full of pain. Everything was full of pain. I didn't know how to get out of bed. So I really tried to move somehow getting out of bed. Horrifying. So much pain. And I said, I don't know if I can move. Like, just move. After 3 or 4 hours, it's going to work again. So there was not an option to not move. Right? And when they hurt themselves, it's like, okay, you hurt yourself and you just go over it. You just keep on working, and you keep on working, your body's going to adapt. And they did. Yeah? The thing is, some of them, if you don't live the spirit, if you don't live this culture, if you don't live the philosophy, 100% to the end, you're gonna feel the pain. And you're gonna pay the price.